Hey guys, and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you exactly why Bitcoin is in a very critical place right now. That's right. If Bitcoin does not manage to go through a relatively large rally of at least $5,000 over the next couple of weeks, Bitcoin could be facing a much larger corrective movement. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you why Bitcoin absolutely needs to put in a large green candlestick in return to at least $118,000, or else we may end up seeing a much larger drop. Over the last few days, we have seen a major corrective movement on Bitcoin from $119,000 right back to our previous all-time high at $112. This corrective movement has been, in one sense, extraordinarily healthy for Bitcoin, as it has resulted in a massive amount of over-leveraged longs getting liquidated that were just frankly too bullish. People have been just thinking that we're going straight to $135,000, and they've been betting the farm on that, and it's led to a lot of very unstable foundation work on Bitcoin. Bitcoin needs a much stronger footing, and so a backtest of 112 was an extremely bullish event for Bitcoin. But now Bitcoin finds itself stuck between two very important trend lines that I'm going to show you right now. The first of which shows up on the weekly chart. You've seen this showing up all over the place over the last few weeks, and that is this uptrend that constitutes the all-time high of the 2016-17 bull market, the all-time high of the 2020-2021 bull market, and our recent all-time highs at $109,000 and $123,000 respectively. This trend line is actually two different trend lines, and it's actually an uptrending, widening zone of resistance would be the technical term, but we are not primarily concerned with this uptrend, but the smaller, more southern one. If we look on the daily chart, we're going to see that Bitcoin right now has fallen beneath that uptrending level of support, because that uptrending level of support that's been in play for 8 years sits right here. This uptrending level of support in particular is more or less one of the major areas that Bitcoin is getting resistance right now, and that sits right here at about $115,700. Bitcoin fell back down and filled the Bitcoin CME futures gap here between approximately $114,000 and $115,000, but now Bitcoin has another problem. It has to now break back through this uptrending level of resistance that has been in play for 8 years. Then it has to break through the top band of this zone. Remember, these two uptrends are basically one big zone. We have to break back into the zone, then we have to break through the zone by breaking above $125,000. That's a lot of resistance. On top of that, on the daily chart, we're stuck beneath the 20 daily exponential moving average, which we originally fell below, that instigated this downtrend. On top of that, we also have this flat level of resistance, which was previous support, which constitutes roughly $115,000. This is a level that we dropped back down to a great number of times over the last few weeks. Now we're using it as resistance. If we're not careful, this is going to turn into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave corrective movement below 112. We really need to have a strong breakout here, as you can see. But unfortunately, it actually gets a little bit worse. Bitcoin is also far below the visible range volume profile point of control, sitting here at $118,000. If Bitcoin is not able to break above the $118,000 mark, which represents the point of maximum trading that we've seen over the last month, then Bitcoin is going to be relegated to a larger corrective movement. Now, guys, I understand that we have had a major reversal in sentiment. Ever since we dropped back down to 112, sentiment has been extraordinarily bullish over the last 48 hours or so as we've reinstigated this rally. That being said, I am deeply concerned about the fact that this correction to the upside has seemingly been weaker than the correction to the downside. You can very simply draw a trend line straight through the correction and a trend line through the uptrend, and you will see that the uptrend is nowhere near as steep as the downtrend, simply showing that the bulls seem to be weaker than the bears right now. I would like to come to you and tell you that the bulls are just absolutely melting faces right now, but I would be lying if I said that right now, because we did have an outlier, breakout to the upside at 123, and I'm hoping that this is an outlier breakout down to 112, backtesting the previous all-time high and filling in the CME futures gap, but unfortunately, that's not necessarily the way this is going to play out. So right now, Bitcoin is stuck between two very important, very strong zones. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, if you will. We're stuck above 112, which serves as a very powerful floor for Bitcoin. But we're also stuck below this uptrending level of resistance. We're stuck below the 20 daily exponential moving average, which sits right here. And we're also stuck below the daily chart point of control, which sits at roughly $118,000. The question now becomes, what is Bitcoin going to do? Are we about to resume the uptrend and skyrocket to $135,000? Well, gee, I'd love to tell you that, but I can't tell you that. I can't give you that kind of call until we have a confirmed breakout above $118,000, until we see some more strength, until perhaps we see on the daily chart a bullish MACD cross, which we're currently building. We've been building one for 3 days. This might develop into something over the course of the rest of this week. But as of right now, we have every reason to believe that Bitcoin has assumed a primary downtrend, and we should be treating this market as if it is in a primary downtrend until otherwise proven. We are testing the 20 daily exponential moving average as resistance. At the time of recording this video anyway, we are currently rejecting from it. And until we see a break back up above the 20 daily exponential moving average, we should assume that Bitcoin is at best in consolidation, at worst entering a new downtrend. So if Bitcoin is in a new downtrend, where's the bottom? Well, there's a very simple uptrend that you can draw that connects all three of these bottoms right here, which frankly makes kind of a case that maybe the bottom is in at 112. If you draw an uptrend that connects our bottom on April the 9th, our bottom on the 23rd of June, and our bottom yesterday, you can see that we are currently finding support on that level. That would lend credence to the idea that we're going to bounce from here, and I certainly hope that's the case. But if it doesn't, then we have to start looking for other trend lines of support. And the next major trend line that I see would be this trend line. This is the trend line that underpins the entire Bitcoin market. And by the way, this is not some trend line that we should just hate, because this trend line that I'm about to show you, this trend line actually points to Bitcoin trading at least at $250,000 by the end of the decade. So before you go and crucify the trend line I'm about to show you, remember, it's actually kind of our friend. That being said, if Bitcoin breaks this uptrend, the next logical uptrend would be this one. And right now that uptrend sits at $83,000. We do, however, have a ton of support above $83,000, and I'm not going to make a call that we're going to 83. That would be absolutely foolish. I don't think for a second that we're about to go to $83,000. That being said, if Bitcoin does capitulate beneath this uptrending level of support, then a back test back down to as low as the point of control of our last market, which sat roughly right here at about $106,000, would be highly likely. That point of control, once again, is between about $104,000 and $106,000. If Bitcoin is not able to hold the support that it is building right here where it stands, then it only stands to reason that we would see a back test to the support zone down between $104,000 and $107,000. That, once again, being if we break this uptrending level of support, if we cannot get above the 20 daily exponential moving average, and if Bitcoin is not able to hold $112,000. Right now, you need to be very careful about going into long positions. Right now, you need to be very careful about gambling and betting that the bottom is in at 112, because we quite frankly do not have confirmation of that yet. We do not have breakout confirmation from breaking above the 20 daily exponential moving average. We do not have breakout confirmation from breaking above our flat level of support here at $116,000, which is now resistance. And we do not have confirmation of breaking above the visible range volume profile. We also do not have a powerful uptrend that is more powerful than the downtrend that led us here in the first place. And quite frankly, we have absolutely no reason to believe with confidence that Bitcoin is about to return to $123,000 within the next few days to the next week or so. That being said, I do think that Bitcoin is going to return to $123,000 and even higher this year. But we cannot make that call as if it's going to happen today, tomorrow, or next week. And so the purpose of this video is twofold. Number one, it is to encourage you to invest. If Bitcoin does drop down to $106,000, $108,000, $110,000, these are once in a generation, maybe twice in a generation, opportunities to purchase from here on out. Obviously, there are a lot of opportunities in the past to do that, but we can't go back in time. In the future, you may have 1, 2, maybe 3 chances to buy at $105,000, $106,000, $110,000 ever again. If you see $110,000, deploy capital. If you see $108,000, deploy capital. If you see $104,000, deploy capital. Jeb, what if we go into a bear market? Say with me now, deploy capital. This is not financial advice. This is simply my opinion. That's what you clicked here for. I don't know your financial position, and so you need to be very careful to not overextend yourself. But if we do drop down to these levels, our first piece of counsel would be to continue to build your holdings. That's exactly what we're doing. When Bitcoin dropped to 112, we bought. This morning, when Bitcoin's at 114, we bought. As soon as we have cash come in, I dump it into Bitcoin. Do I care what the price is? Kind of, but not really. I just kind of buy Bitcoin basically wherever it is, and I buy even more if it drops. So that's the first point. Second point. If you are trying to long the bottom on Bitcoin right now, you need to be very careful and make sure your liquidation price is very low. Better yet, you need to not go into a long trade unless you have a conservative stop loss, because you have to make sure you always have a plan to manage your risk. If you don't, you're going to do this thing called getting liquidated. You're going to get disenfranchised with trading, and you're going to walk away from a very lucrative, very profitable skill set because of one bad trade. If you are thinking about longing Bitcoin right now, I want to encourage you to wait for some of these breakout characteristics to present themselves. Wait for a break above the 20 daily exponential moving average. Wait for a break above the $118,000 visible range volume profile point of control. Wait for the daily chart bullish MACD cross. These things are going to come. I don't know whether the bottom's at 112 or whether the bottom's at 100. I don't know whether the bottom's at 106, 108, or 104. I don't know. What I do know is that a bottom's coming, and you're going to have a massive rally that follows that. I'm highly confident you're going to see $140,000 to $150,000 this year. But what I'm not highly confident about is whether or not that's going to happen in the next couple of days. So please be very careful going into long trades. Make sure you are prepared for the possibility of a lower low coming, because we might not be done correcting here. My final point to hammer this idea home is that our correction from 112,000 ended up being 12% deep, which was very shallow, by the way. Our correction so far has only been 9% deep. The correction before the last correction was 32% deep. Split the difference, consider Bitcoin dropping 20%, you'd be seeing a back test back down to $98,000. Is it possible? Absolutely. So please be very careful of entering into a long trade with leverage until you're ready. As far as investment, sure, whatever. You're not going to get liquidated on an investment. Go for it. Last thing, I am not, once again, I'm repeating, I am not encouraging you to go into a short trade, because shorting Bitcoin is almost always a bad idea. I am not for any of you encouraging you to go into a short trade, because you will almost certainly get liquidated. So I'm not telling you to go into a short trade. Please be very careful not to do that. But something I do want to encourage you to do is to get yourself prepared for when Bitcoin does go into another rally. And so I want to give you something for free. That's right. I'm going to give you something for free. I'm going to give you access to our very own Discord server for free. And the way that you can get access to our very own Discord server that I'm in all the time, like every day, I'm over there talking to you guys, is you can click the link in the description box down below and you can sign up for 2Bit. This is the best cryptocurrency leverage trading platform in the game right now. I love it. This is where I do my trading. This is where our community trades. And this is where you can get some free stuff. If you sign up for 2Bit, first of all, you're going to get into the first cohort Discord server completely for free. And people are very active over here. We've had a ton of conversations just today. You can see I'm in yellow here. We've been talking all day. People have made a bunch of trades. I've made some trades. A lot of people have made a lot of money. The other day, somebody in our Discord server got 1,000% trade. They literally 10x their money, $300 into $3,300. It's a beautiful sight to behold. A lot of great technical analysis going on in the Discord server. And if you want to get access to the Discord server, all you got to do is sign up for 2Bit, deposit $100, and give me your word that that's where you're going to be doing your trading. And you signing up for 2Bit and trading on 2Bit will basically pay for your subscription to the first cohort. So we are going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is send an email to malachipats@cryptojeb.com, which is linked in the description box down below, with proof of the $100 deposit, such as a screenshot, your user identification number, which is in your account settings, and also the email that you would like to sign up for the first cohort with. And he will give you a coupon code to get into the first cohort for free for a year. But that's not all. Billy Mays here. If you deposit $100, you're also going to get $30 instantly in reward. Also, you're going to get $50 of a welcome bonus whenever you sign up for 2Bit. And when you do $1,000 of volume on perps, which is like nothing. I mean, $1,000 of trading volume on perpetual futures is basically nothing. You're going to double that into $100. So you just turned $100 into $230. And you got access to our Discord server for free for a year, which is a $420 value for nothing. You just turned $100 into $230. $420 of value, you like 7 extra money in about 10 minutes. Doesn't get better than that. I told you I was going to give you some free stuff. Sign up for 2Bit with the link in the description box down below. Trade down there so that you can get access to our Discord server, and you can get access to my technical analysis round the clock, not just in these videos. I'm constantly posting charts over there. I'm constantly sharing wisdom with you guys. I'm constantly teaching you guys. So if you want to get into the Discord server for free for a year, sign up for 2Bit with the link in the description box down below. I hope you enjoyed today's content. I apologize it was late. We were at the hospital earlier today because my wife almost fainted, but I wanted to get this content to you anyway. She encouraged me to. She was the one that said, go in here and shoot the video. She's doing better now. Please be praying for us. We have absolutely no idea when the baby's going to come. Hopefully the baby will come very soon. And yeah, I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next piece of content. Peace.